Sun goes down, fades away. Lifeless fingers, red decay. Darkness comes, slow moving mist hides the land inside its fist. The riders come, sworn to obey, to chase the colors from the day. They ride on through with a thunderous sound, shakes the mountains and cracks the ground. Power, can you feel that power? As night rolls in with the witching hour. Power, can you feel that power across the land? Can you feel that power? Cold steel hearts, eyes like flame, etched in dust, forgotten names, echoed vows through shattered time, bound by blood and ancient signs. Engines howl like beasts unchained, blackened skies ignite the rain. Every step, the shadows cower when the ground bows to rising power. Power, can you feel that power? As night rolls in with the witching hour. Oh, power, can you feel that power across the land? Can you feel that power?
What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody tonight? Ooh wee. It's been a long evening. Oh shit. I guess I could have done that earlier. Slacking, man. Stupid cord is caught around my there we go. That's a little better. Now I'm not strangling myself. Let's see here. Hostile hair. What's up, man? Build is going great. Working on the Crosser 300, and I just got it finished up today. Well, not finished up. I got the doors are put back together. I got the dash and everything put. The front end is put back together and then cleaned up, vacuumed out, and all that stuff. I still got to do the roof. The roof is definitely on fire. The roof is on fire. But we got to pull that And I'm really dreading that, guys. I'm telling you, I'm dreading that so bad. Because the A pillars have to come off, the B pillars have to come off, the C pillars have to come off, the back seat has to come out. Essentially, all that stuff, the seat belt in the back has to come out. To get those panels out, those cushions on the sides of the seat has to come out, the back seat has to come out. And then the roof can come down. But I also have to take the sun visors out, the console, the overhead console out, the handles in the back, the oh shit handles in the back have to come out on both sides. And then the roof can come down. That's just to get the freaking thing to where I can start working on it. And then I don't know for sure what I'm gonna do when I get under there. I've got some ideas, but none of them are perfect. It's just not going to be a perfect roof. There's not going to be a perfect solution, but we're working on it. Joseph, what's up, man? I've been over here scanning through Facebook, and my buddy over here, Bay Harbor Butcher, has taken apart the backside of his S10 build, and I mean, it's a disaster right now in there. It's just an absolute disaster. There's just so much wire. This thing is it's a loud vehicle. He's running two 18s in this thing, two single 18s. But I think he got the team sickles. I don't remember for sure. He has probably the biggest, most monster 18-inch subs you can possibly buy in this thing. I think he's got it on like 35,000 watts. It's going to be ridiculous. It has been a long week, Joseph. A long, hot week, yes. Franco Quaid's happy 4th. It ain't quite there. That's tomorrow. We're on the 3rd. The kids are all shooting the crackers out there, but it ain't quite the 4th. Am I still running MVX? No. Well, technically, I'm still running the MVX in the dash. And I do have the MVX speakers, the 6x9s in the back, although they're not getting power right now. I probably won't be running those. Well, I might be. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Because we have some 6x9s coming. We have some 6x9s coming in the near future with slaps. Some coaxials. I'm probably going to run those in the back. But I want to try. I'm trying my best to get the thing to be in a full slaps build from front to back. That's what I want to do. We buddy, it's sounding really good, guys. I've got to get it out somewhere where I can really beat the brakes off of it and then see how it's going to actually perform with some power on it. Because right now, everybody's off work and shit, and it's like, oh, I don't really even have any during the daytime time where I can kind of crank it up without disturbing my neighbors. So, and I've had it locked up in the garage, and I got cars parked in there. Tomorrow, I'm going to move the Tahoe out of the way and shuffle it around and put the Tahoe up by the garage and put the car behind it so that I can leave in the car whenever I want. And then I'll take it out and give it a good beat in and see how it's going to do. Maybe take it up to my buddy's shop, but he ain't going to be there because it's a 4th. Maybe take it up there at the beginning of next week and sit outside out there and work on stuff. That's kind of how I have to do it because my neighborhood's real quiet and shit. So, and I don't get up in the morning and do anything. It's too hot during the daytime, so I sneak out in the evening and go up to different places where I can play and listen to it and not have to worry about bothering people. That's how I do it. So yeah, I don't have any problem with the MVX drivers. I'm just trying to run all slaps. And I've been really impressed with how good they sound too, especially mixed. mixed the way I got them mixed. I got them set up to where my 8s are playing from 80 hertz to 300 hertz, and then the 6.5s are playing from 300 hertz up to 5K, and then the tweeters are playing 5K and up, all at 24 dB roll off Liquence Riley. And I'm debating on how the dashes are going to act. I had them right now; they're set up at 5K, so they're just basically like acting like tweeters. Um, but I haven't decided exactly how they're going to fall into this yet. I may end up having them be more of a wideband driver and just dropping the volume down low on them just enough to kind of pull the image up, but not enough to really be in your face, because the 6.5 sound way better in the vocal range. They have way more bottom end and body than those little 2.5 or 3-inch drivers, whatever they are. So I don't want them to. I don't want to pull the vocals there too much, because I wind up with the thinner sounding vocals, which you get with those little small mid drivers. Those 6.5s do a real good job of giving good body to the vocals, and I like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that right now. I'm figuring it out. Drayton Alfred, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Niles said, a long time we don't chat. How you been? I chat. If you guys follow me on Facebook, I have a car audio enthusiast page, but it's a business page, and God, it sucks trying to use it for anything. The easiest way to get a hold of me is through email, caraudioenthusiast@gmail.com. Getting a hold of me that way is the easiest way to get a hold of me. I will answer your email. Also, if you have a question about some stuff, be sure to include information about it so that I know what I'm answering. And don't assume that I know about your build, even if we've talked about it before, because I've talked to so many people about so many different things that I tend to forget. That's just the easiest way to get a hold of me for questions and stuff. Of course, right now, you ask any question you have on any video that I have on this channel, and I will see that question. If it's something that I can answer, I will answer it. But that's about as good as it gets. Once you've asked me a question and I've responded to it, I may not see a further response on that. So if you want to follow up on that question and I don't respond, it's because of the way I have things set up to where I don't see all those. I only see new responses. So start a new thread and continue the conversation that way. Don't respond to the old statement, to the old one. Just start a new thread and remind me of what we're talking about, and then I'll get back to you on it. That way I can actually keep up with them. So I don't see it unless it's a new response. They don't show up on my filter. But yeah, I will respond to every comment on the video. I will respond to all of them. So if you have questions after the show, after this live show, then just put them in there and you will get an answer. I feel like crap, but I keep waking up for some reason. I don't know why. What's up, Jeffrey? How are you doing? Love the door panels. I'm working hard on those door panels. The work that I've done is something that the average person could probably do in a day or two, pretty easily. But for me, it's a long process. And pretty much each video that you see is a whole day of working on stuff for me. It's chopped down to, between 10 minutes and an hour. So it's just a lot. It's a lot to it, man, for this old broken dude to do stuff. So yeah, I'm doing the best I can, man. Bilto. Okay. I have that. I have my first Sundown M, and it's awesome. Hey, good subwoofer, man. Um, good deal. Let's see. I don't know about that yet. I haven't the fourth order. I haven't decided for sure if it's going to be a fourth or a sixth. I will say that if it's a fourth, it'll have 618s in it. If it's a sixth, it's going to have 418s in it. Beyond that, I do not know yet. I will say also this. Chris's build, we're getting geared up for that. That'll be over the next few months. We're going to be doing 418s on a sixth in Chris's Escalade. It's going to get down with two 8Ks. So we're doing 418 Oblivions, and we're doing two Shock 8Ks on 418 Oblivions. We just got to get all the subwoofers. Right now, he's got one. So we need three more of those 18-inch Oblivions. And then we got to build the box also. So that's a thing. Play it and live it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Got you, man. Let's see here. It was hot today. I blow my front. Say, what? So hot. I blew my front stage and tore my 12-inch sub. That's not good. That's not good. Got to keep that freaking, got to keep that heat down, man. Got to keep that heat down. Hostile Hair said, what DSP did I go with? I'm running the B2610, at least for now. And I have no issues with that. I'm blown away by how good that little DSP works. The only problem I have with the B2610 is the fact that it has 10 channels out, and I may end up needing more than that. If all you need is something less than 10 channels out, man, that is a stellar good DSP. And I am, what am I going to do? I'm using a Chinese radio, which all of them are actually, just a regular old Amazon radio connecting to that DSP with 2 channels. And it's doing stunning work. So yeah, can't complain. Steven said, hey, what's up? What's up, Steven? Nice to see you. Stu is in the house. What's up, Stu? Oh man, I didn't know there's somebody else going live tonight. Sorry about that. Is it Big Jeff that's live? I don't know. I hardly watch a Friday night. I hardly watch lives, really. I get them every once in a while. I like to watch Andy's live show whenever I catch it. But sorry about that if I interrupted somebody else's show. Or if I'm colliding with someone, it must be Jeff. Jeff's the only one I know I can think of. But nice to see you decided to join us, brother. Michael Burt. Yep. I need more speakers. Everybody needs more speakers. Douglas Johnson. You're rocking that big Jeep, right? Make sure I have the right Douglas. Because I'm horrible with last names. Yeah, you've only got like 246 or something like that. You know, you got room for more. You guys, he has an absolutely obscene amount of speakers in that Jeep. Yeah. If it's who I'm thinking it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. I thought that's who it was. Yeah, he's got a crazy Jeep. I've got videos of it. If you've seen the videos on my channel with the Jeep that's got like a million speakers all up in the top of the headliner and all around the doors and everywhere, oh, that's that guy. And it's kind of bonkers. I had the same. See what we're doing here. Joseph said rebuilding to Michael Burt, but I'm on YouTube. Gotcha. Oh, replying to Michael Burt. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I'm caught up now. Had to think about that one. I have the same one that works great. They make a 612 net. Yeah. And I've been studying on that one. And the March is also doing the 612. From what I can tell, they're basically the same DSP. I know the software will work on either one. But I will say this, the B2 software is far more reliable. So if you end up with the March DSP, just download the B2 software for that many channels, and it works fine with the March DSP. Also, I think the March DSP is actually, good God, with these firecrackers. I think the March DSP is actually more expensive, but I'm not sure. But it is the same DSP from what I can tell. I know the software is interchangeable. And yeah, they're blowing shit up. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I have two. Yeah, I have a vertical and a horizontal one running. So yeah, it just depends on which format you prefer to see things on. That's how that works. And let me hide that so that makes more sense. I don't know if that helps on you guys' end or not, but yeah, we do. I'm running both. Oh, good God, yeah. I'm running both a normal widescreen and a vertical stream on pretty much a whole bunch of stuff. So, Douglas says, I think you got room for what is that additional 32 more 6.5s and 8 6-inch horns. Now that guys understand that that's in addition to what he's already got, and I think he's got like in the 250 range on speakers right now. That thing sounds absolutely amazing, and it's loud as shit. So it's like, imagine having a live band, a really well amplified, good sounding, well mixed live band in a parking lot. That's what his vehicle sounds like. It sounds amazingly good, even at a way off or right up next to it. He's got the top set up kind of like an array. So the way as you get closer, some of the speakers start shooting over your head, and as you move away from it, they shoot more at you. So it's set up to automatically defeat itself the closer you get. So it doesn't really seem like it's getting louder when you get closer. It just sort of stays the same volume level as you move closer, which is bizarre. And it's all completely in the design. He designed it to do that. Very, very cool build. One of my favorite builds ever. Got you. More to add. Oh, man. Oh, now he's listed how much he actually has in there. Stu says, oh, yeah. That's what I ran into last week. I was in the vertical room, but everyone else is in the horizontal. Yeah. Like I said, you can do whichever one you want. This is just what I choose, how I'm doing it right now. So you have two options. YouTube seems to be putting priority on vertical streams, so more people are getting those. So that's why I'm doing that, as well as the horizontal version. Douglas says, right now, that was close. I thought it was like 246. I was really close. 244 speakers plus 415s and a C-pillar. And guys, understand, this is in a Jeep. And I'm not talking about like some kind of Cherokee or something. This is a freaking like a CJ, like when it ain't a CJ, but that kind of, it's in a Jeep. It's in a freaking Jeep. He's got all this. You just have to see it. I mean, that's all I can tell you. Yeah, it's insane. And he's got more room. He's finding more spaces. That's cool, man. Shadowphage, what's up, man? Yeah, I just went live here a little while ago. I wasn't feeling all that great today. Yeah, four-door Wrangler. Yeah. I wasn't feeling all that great today. I've been hot all day, and the heat, I've already got lots of issues, and the heat makes it worse. And these firecrackers, I'm about ready to go out here and crank up the Tahoe and just drown them all out with bass here in the hood. They can turn that shit off anytime now. I mean, it's not the 4th yet. Come on, guys. One more freaking day. You can wait with your firecrackers. Oh my God. Sound like I'm in friggin' war zone or something out there. Right there and drop some bass on all of them. Say, yeah, let's do it. Let's get loud. I get Douglas out here with that Jeep. Play say can you at 160 decibels. That'd be good, man. I'm glad you're here, Shadowphage. I'm just trying to get 4 8-inch and 1 10-inch in each door. Wow. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me go back here for a second. I'm gonna pull something up. It's gonna be the old build though. This is back when he had much less speakers. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. And there's one where he had 118 speakers. I can't play the other one because it's copyrighted. I think, well, I don't know. Maybe I can get away with this one. But unfortunately, when Doug is cutting up and doing his, he plays copyrighted music, and that runs into problems with me, and I'm probably going to be regretting this. But well, screw it, let's do it. Hang on just a second here. Let me switch. I think we'll get this to work. There. And then let's blow that up to there. And then do that. This might work, so hang tight, guys. Yeah.
Are you sure?
All right. Can you tell me about this Jeep, please, sir?
Way too much money in it.
Give me try to give me a list.
Let's see. There's 242 loudspeakers, horn tweeters, 415s, 4 rootless 10Ks. Altogether, 24 amplifiers, 20 highs amps, 4 subwoofer amplifiers, 2 500 amp alternators, 9 XMAX 90 batteries, 810 amp hours of LiPo 4 batteries. Motors, 3.8 liter, supercharged, 11 pounds of boost.
So it'll go play in the mud too.
Oh yeah.
Not just loud.
Yeah, this ain't a pavement. Just looks like it.
Yeah, y'all check it out.
42 mids and highs. Is that what you said?
Yes.
That is
15-inch dreamsicles.
4 15-inch dreamsicles. We're gonna take a little peek on the inside here. He's gonna give me a little bit of a view. Oh, nice. That is a sweet box, man. Hey, y'all take a look at this. This is where it starts to get bonkers. Just crazy. And Doug is a crazy man, by the way. He's a psychopath. Bonafide, certified psychopath. There's speakers down there. There's speakers in the doors. And that's cool. I like that. It's class, right? Classy. And it has lights. The tweeters, the mids have lights. Both the front doors are loaded down with speakers. The roof is covered in speakers.
And then, of course, the actual roof is covered in speakers. And he uncovers it when he gets here. He's got his top on there. Got a snorkel because he does play in the mud. It is a pretty much a crazy vehicle. Let's sneak around here and get a shot of this other door. Yeah. So yeah, door. See, there's tweeters down there. I mean, like, you know, I think there's a couple of spots in here where you could put a couple more speakers.
Yeah, I might add 16 more.
16 more? Okay, fair.
Yeah. Now, guys, remember, I can't play anything that he plays at the show. Unfortunately, he plays copyrighted music, and it would jack me up copyright wise. Yeah, four-door Wrangler, he says. Steven, I have a 2015 Volkswagen Jetta. What type of subs would I recommend? Got 210 or 212s or 115 with a 2001. The slaps, I would have to, okay, so what I would suggest is that you look at the airspace that you've got that you want to give up in the trunk. Two things. First of all, you need to know what baffle area you're going to be working with. That's the important one, really, for figuring it out. If you're going to fire them forward, then you're going to need to know how much baffle area you have in the space that you're going to fire forward. Same thing backwards. And also need to know how much airspace you can give up, internal airspace and external. So you get your external measurements of your box, make sure that those measurements will fit through the trunk that you're going in. And then just subtract like 25% from that, and it'll kind of give you a ballpark of the internal airspace that you end up with. Once you do that, then you can figure out what subwoofers are going to work well in that airspace that you have. I'm going to go on a limb here and say it's probably going to be 212s, most likely. It's probably going to be pushing it. They're like 12s generally take around 2 cubic feet per sub internal volume. Let me look and see what the slaps Oblivion 12s, or yeah, let me just look and see what's available here. Let's jump back over here. So if we're looking at the Oblivion 12s, they're both going to be the same as far as what we need to know. They are 1.9 to 2.4 cubic feet, which is what I said, about 2 cubic feet per sub. And they're rated at 2,000 watts RMS, and that is a solid rating. They'll handle significantly more than that. So you could probably run them on the larger size. I'd be looking at like a 5 cubic foot internal volume for 212s. Running a 2,000 watt amp, or even running the Slaps 5K. I would probably run the 5K. Yeah, I would probably run the 5K on 2 of these at between between these numbers. This is a good spacing. If you're running the 5K, I would probably push more towards the smaller number of the 1.9. And if you're going to run 2,000 or 3,000 watts on both subs together, I would probably push it a little more towards the 2.4 cubic feet. You're going to be have more flexibility there. These are the same motors that are on the 15s and 18s. These things are massive. These motors are really, really big. They are genuinely massive subwoofers. That motor is like 10 inches across. It's huge. They weigh around 50 pounds a piece. They're solid subs. Run those two in your setup. I would probably run those two on me personally, on the 5K. You could run them on an 8K, but I would probably push them toward the 5K. So, depending on your electrical, that's kind of where it's at. You know, if your electrical can handle that, then that's what you want. The 5K or the 8K, either one will do the job. If it was me personally, I'd be running the 8K on those two, but you'd also need a lot of amplifier power. I mean, a lot of battery power. That's the key thing. See, people don't think about that. You know, 8,000 watts, that's going to require, you know, in the neighborhood of 600 to 800 amps to run at full tilt, you know. So no matter whether or not you've got an 8,000 watt amp or a 2,000 watt amp, if you're only giving the whole system 100 amps, you're only going to get, you know, 1,000 watts out of it. It's no matter how big the amp is, it's only going to make the power that it's getting. That's where batteries become a really important part of the equation. But if you've got enough power to supply it, either one of these two will do the job. I would lean more towards running the 8K on 2 of the 12s. But if you don't have the baffle space, or if you have more baffle space but you don't have as much airspace total, then you could run a 15 instead. And that would require a little bit less airspace. You're looking at like 3.5 instead of 4 point something. So it's a little bit smaller airspace, but you're also going to be needing a bigger baffle for that 15, and so forth and so on. It all depends on your baffle space and your airspace, and then you figure out the amplifier power you need to push it with. If you're looking at 2,000 watts and you're really stuck on that, I would probably instead run the 3K. The minimum that I would want to do for 2 of those would be this guy right here. So just my 2 cents. And this actually is a really good amp. I've run this on a single. I put this amp on on that 15-inch Smackdown, and it did a good job with it. It also did a good job on a couple of Rockfords for the police vehicle at our last show. So it's a good little amp for $160, man. You can't beat the prices and the power and the performance that you're getting out of these things. Really solid stuff. Hopefully I helped you a little bit. It all comes down to all those things, and then you figure those things out, and then you can decide on which fits best. And mainly it comes down to, what is your constraint? If your constraint is baffle area, then you may have to use smaller drivers to fit inside the baffle area. And if your constraint is total airspace, but you have plenty of baffle area, then you're going to be using large cones so that you can, you know, maximize the internal airspace and get the most possible output. Yeah, man, it was rough. It was rough and hot. Let's see here. Same here. Stu said, so I got to do a radio and backup camera in an 02 Buick Rendezvous today. Well, that sounds fun. Whole damn vehicle's assembled with those vampire clips. The hand murder. Dude, I'm going to tell you, I really like working on Dodges. I've learned, I used to like the Ford, working on Fords, because they had the door panels, always had those cool little plastic clips that went into the door, and you just hung the door, and it's like you pushed it up there and pushed it down, and it locked it in place. That was the easiest thing ever. But then I started messing with Dodges, and Dodge literally builds the entire car out of like 1-inch freaking panhead screws. Like you could take the whole interior of the car apart and then throw away every screw and put it all back together with a box of 1-inch pinhead screws. I really like working on stuff and the ones that I don't like now is Chevys. Chevys suck to work on. So yeah, that's my new thing. Doug says demo purposes only. Pretty. It's Travis. What's up, Travis? How are you here tonight, man? Glad to see you. Uh, Travis has got crazy stuff. Travis's shit changes about every day. So he'll build some shit and then it'll be really good. And then as soon as he goes home, he tears it all out and rebuilds it again. He likes to torture himself. That's pretty much how that works. But Travis has always got some loud shit. He's one of those guys that once you meet Travis, you've met one of the nicest people in car audio. Big, huge heart. You know, he's a great dude. What's up, man? Mark Hendrick. Okay. I feel lame. Yep, I definitely do. Linear power, 5002, 212-inch hat 3. I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm going to try to get through it and figure it out. Eden 8 doors, 2202 3-inch dash, 1-inch tweeters. Okay, so you got a linear power 5,000 watt 212 sub, I'm guessing. Then 8-inch and 3-inch and 1-inch door 3-ways. Okay, all modded by Tips. SQ is the game, but gets loud and crystal clear. Awesome, man. That sounds like a killer build. It's a whole lot of letters that I don't know and a lot of equipment that I'm not familiar with. I do know about linear power, but not all the equipment. But it sounds like a hot freaking build. I'd love to hear it. I like a good sound quality setup. Stewie. What's up, Bobby V? Bobby V's in the house. The amount of mathematical knowledge. Scott Craig, what's up, man? Oh God, dude. Yeah, it's kind of it makes my head hurt. So I can draw pictures in my head real good, but and I can crunch basic numbers in my head, but I absolutely hate to math. Mathing sucks. Mathing sucks very much. And yeah, it's a lot of mathing involved. Doing very well on 10s. Awesome. Yeah, see, the thing is, man, it ain't about, everyone's stuck on that thing, where 10s, 12s, 15s, 20, or whatever. Yes, more cone area equals better. Yes, 100%. But only if you've got enough airspace to support it. If you don't have enough airspace, you're going to get more. If you put a set of, say, it's like 2 15-inch subs in a box that robs it of airspace, it's not going to play lows very shit. It's going to play lows like shit. It's just going to be a real high pitch box. It'll sound tight and all that, but it's going to be real high. It won't play lows at all. You're also probably going to burn up voice coils because the sub won't be able to properly move in the box and actually move air over the coils, and you're going to smoke coils. And if you build a box too big, you're going to tear up spiders and suspensions and stuff like that. It needs to be properly sized. So getting a box that's properly sized for the subwoofers is going to give you far more clean, low, wide range output than putting cones in a box that is too small. So there's that. Everyone wants to go big, and I understand that, but you have to understand you got to give up a lot of airspace for that cone area, because that sub has to be able to compress that air properly to move properly to work within its perimeters. If you're asking it to work with far less airspace, it's like trying to drive a car with no suspension system. It's just going to beat the crap out of you. It's not going to do anything. It's like driving a go-kart really fast on a bumpy road. It's just going to bounce all over the place. Yeah, it'll be fun. You're going to wear your butt out, but you'll have fun. But yeah. The quickest way to burn up a voice coil is to clip it real hard And especially whenever you're playing high notes and you got no movement to the too tight of a suspension, the sub can't move, and you're going to smoke a voice coil real fast. I'm running stock alternator and a battery right now. That was good information, but if I have to upgrade, I guess I will. Yeah, you're going to need to upgrade, because right now with a stock alternator and a stock battery, the best you're going to do is run about 1,000 watts, and I mean that's going to be pushing your luck. Can you get those subs to play at 1,000 watts? Absolutely. They will give you about 80% of what they have in that 1,000 watt range. They'll give you quite a bit. You'll be really surprised how much power, how much bass you can get out of even 500 watts. So don't let that scare you too much. But even running 1,000 watt amp, you're going to want to have, you're going to want more backbone, more spine. You're going to want a good, think of it like this. A good rule of thumb is 25 amp hours of lithium for 2,500 watts of amplifier. And then you can scale that up as big as you want to go. That's a really good general rule of thumb. That'll get you in the ballpark. Because and I said lithium, not AGM. AGM is completely different because it doesn't take power in very well. AGM only charges at like 0.5 C. So if the AGM battery is capable of putting out, say, 300 amps, it's only going to be able to take in half of that. If it's 1,000, say it's a 100 amp hour battery, right? That means at 0.5 C, you can only take in 50 amps. And if you're running a 500 watt amp, then that means that battery can keep up with it. But anything bigger than that, and they're going to run the battery out of power. No matter how big your alternator is, you could have a 300 amp alternator, but the battery can only take in 50 amps. No matter how hard you charge it, no matter how much is available in the alternator, you can only take in 50 amps. So if you're pulling 100 amps out of it, your voltage is going to drop and you're going to go down. Even with 15 300 amp alternator, well, if you've got enough alternators to carry the power past it and literally pull the equipment, then you're fine. But the battery is not going to be able to recover. It'll just be dropping. So keep that in mind. What you want is a battery that can both put out the power that you need for the amplifiers and be charged fast enough to continuously do that and keep up with it. That's why lithium is better than AGM. And it's one of the big reasons is how fast it can be charged. Lift-off panels for the win. Stu said Dodge is forgiving for sure. Yeah. 7mm screws that Phillips sent them is back up. Yep. Those little panheads, dude. That's all you need is a bucket of freaking 1-inch panheads, and you can put a whole Dodge together. It's great. William Bill, what's up, man? Hadn't seen you in a minute. Your thoughts on the Apocalypse 7900.1? I ran that for a while back. Yes. Overall rating, heads up advice. I got mine on a black brick house. My thoughts are: do not hook that sucker up without a subwoofer attached to it. That's the first thing I'll tell you. Too big. It's a good amp as long as you treat it very carefully. One thing is always have your subwoofer hooked up to the amplifier before you put power on it, especially if it's new or if it hadn't been on power in a while. Number two is make sure that you keep the voltage and the power up on it so you have good solid runs, possibly doubled up runs on your inputs. Don't let it starve for power. Don't let it starve. I mean, ground, power wire, all that. Don't let it starve. And make sure you've got a subwoofer hooked up to it whenever the caps need to be charged so you don't have that hit, because that's what I think killed mine, was hooking it up without subwoofers hooked up. That's when I made the mistake. But it ran fine up to that point. So I never had any issues out of it. Just treat it gently. And I do that with all amplifiers now. I don't mess around anymore. I have a subwoofer on that amp before I hook up the power to it. I don't want to have any issues. Scott said, I wish you guys were able to see people's faces when they roll into a parking lot. I run to the parking lot with them bumping. Definitely anxious to see what Dustin comes up with as the next for that spring competition. Oh yeah, it's going to be absolutely lit, guys. Um, I think Dustin's going to be in the 60s, and it's going to be stupid. So, but it's always that's going to be one monster event, and I'm hoping to have both my all my stuff together because I want to compete with Dustin. We're literally going to be in the same class. Um, and actually, I don't know, as it's a little different. I may actually be in a class ahead of him. I'm not really sure, but if we're not in the same class, we're going to be close. And and him with 218s, and I don't know what for sure I'm going to have yet. But if I have uh, or if I have 618s in a fourth or 418s in a sixth, I should be louder than him, but I don't know because he's got some monster 18s and he's got them in a very small cabin area. And he's doing crazy, crazy mad scientist stuff. So right now he's louder than me as it is, and with less cone area, but he has a lot more power. And his is not really drivable. I mean, it is drivable, but good God, you wouldn't want to drive that thing. It's a lead sled. So it's technically drivable, insured, probably insured and licensed and everything. I don't know. It's a weird kind of a comparison, but he's louder than me for sure. Uh, I know that. At least he was before he tore out. So yeah, it's going to be good. William Biddle, holy stars! He must be talking about that Jeep. A linear 15, which I think it was red or blue back in 1991. It sounded, I don't know. I only had 3 wires coming out of the knob, and it was a monster. I don't know what in the hell you're talking about. But he had a 15. No, a linear 5002. Not sure about that one. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Sorry. My typo my typing brain is not keeping up with that one. Uh, Shadow face. I'm happy with my 10. Waiting on alternators to supply current for dynamic music is another whole discussion. Yeah, that's the kicker with that because they literally cannot supply power to dynamic music. Alternators are very reactive, and that's a problem. And they're very slow to react. It's not like they give you soft hits; they just don't. They're good at refilling the battery, but you got to pull that power from somewhere. Whether it be a huge cat bank or a battery bank, something. And overkill is usually what I recommend when it comes to powers. Itty bitty boom changed my life. Hell yeah. Nice setup. Nice setup. Nice to see you, man. What would I recommend on upgrades? Stephen Brought. I've done the big three, and that's about all. What kind of battery alternator should I go with? I've had really good luck with my Team GP alternator. So, and also the bracket. So if you want to run multiple alternators, or if you're just running a switch to a different alternator, I would look at Team GP. So go over to GP Car Audio and look at the Team GP alternator kits. They got singles, doubles, triples. It depends on your vehicle. Some vehicles it's not available, but Tyler ships all that stuff with a high quality belt that's already set up for the right length. And everything, it's basically a plug and play kind of a deal. And the brackets are real high quality. They don't bend and flex on you. It's good shit, man. So that's where I would start. Yeah, that's where I would start at. Jason said, what's up, man? I want to say thank you. I'm starting an SQL build in my '08 Sierra extended cab. I've gained so much applicable knowledge from watching your vids. Thank you very much, my friend. I genuinely appreciate you. Hey, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys for watching my stuff and showing up for my live show. I appreciate everybody, and I do my best. You know, I'm just a car audio idiot, and as I learn stuff, I try to pass on things to everybody else, so we can all learn together and do things. I'm definitely not the know-it-all king of knowledge, but I do my best to pass on what I know, and I appreciate you guys. Louis, what's up, man? I have a Dodge Charger 2016 with a 3.6 V6. I'm going to run 370 amp alternator and two AGM batteries for Dodge. Nothing special, but I have gained some good knowledge about all it. Good channel. Thank you. And just remember, with your AGM batteries, you can count on about 50 amps of each one. So two AGMs will support 1,000 watt amplifier pretty well. Anything above that, and you're probably going to see voltage drop, even with the big alternator. So just keep an eye on that. You're probably, that's 1,000, 1,500 watts. I know it's a 370 amp alternator, but that's 370 amps whenever the engine is spun up to the right RPM range and everything's nice and cool and all that stuff. The battery's warmed up, the alternator's nice and cold, but it's still not going to be able to respond to those dynamic hits. So you're probably still going to want to run something that can take in power quicker. And that's where the lithium comes in. Head over to Trunk Thunder Lithium, use discount code CAE10 and pick up the Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K. That's my suggestion. That's going to handle so much better than what you're thinking about right there. Did I trust the clip light? Clip lights on amplifiers seem to be a little bit antsy. They're a little bit quick. I trust the light, yes, 100%. But it's very much faster than, like, it'll show you're clipping when you're still not really clipping. It's like if you use an SMD clip light or something else, or if you use a metered where you can see the clip, it'll actually show that it's clipping, or the light will actually come on before you're seeing the clip happen. It's a little bit quick to clip. So if that light says it's not clipping, you can bet your ass it is not clipping at all. So yeah, it's just most of the clip lights on amps are very, very quick. They are a little bit too responsive. So I usually set up, if I'm using that as my go-to, I usually set my gains to where the light bumps on just a little bit here and there, but isn't staying on. That's kind of what I go for. Just a little bump right at the edge. Like when the bass note first hits, it kind of flashes and goes away. That's usually what I go for my maximum clippage. William says the linear aunt. I'm sure it's not a relative. Amp, I'm sure that's amp. That linear amp was what I remember from the late 80s, early 90s. It said 52. I believe it was just 500 by 2. Okay. That sounds about right. But it put out way more than that. Yeah, it depends. It depends on a whole lot of things. That was a time when cheater amps were a really big thing. So I can totally believe that. But also consider that a couple of things. In the 80s and 90s, they were using a microphone to judge SPL competitions instead of a sensor. So what that boils down to is anything over a certain decibel, it wasn't reading accurately anymore, which is why they went to a sensor now, and a pressure sensor instead of a microphone. because it's more accurate. And so if you were pulling, say, a 160 in the 90s, that would probably be closer to a 150 today, because of the different measuring techniques. But beyond that, just seat of the pants loud. You can get surprisingly loud on very little power if you have the right enclosure and the right vehicle. Enclosure is a huge part of how loud you are, but loud also is a trade-off. You're always going to trade off one thing for another. You may trade off loud at one frequency for a wide band, for example, or you may be trading off loud for practicality. When it comes to SQ, you may be trading off loud for sound quality, but you're always going to be trading something for something else. And if you want all those things, you're going to be trading all that shit for money. You're going to be spending a whole lot more money, and you're still going to be giving up something. You're always going to give up something to get something else. But yeah, back in the day, we used to build really efficient boxes. So the boxes were all very, very big. And yeah, you could get a single 15 and do crazy good loud, but it also took up the box took up the whole vehicle. It was huge. And you were only sending in a few hundred watts. You can do that today. As long as the subwoofer is efficient enough and the box is efficient enough. Absolutely. Jeezy, not sure where I got that. 215 bass blasters on an Orion HCCA 3K. That's clamping 7690, but I have a question about my mids and highs. Okay. Sounds like you got good electrical. Orion's notorious for their amps producing more power than they're rated at even today. I like the XTRs. The XTR is my pick for the Orion amp. For your money, you're going to get most of what you're going to get with the HCCA amps, but at a whole lot better price. Oh, Jules, what's up, man? I don't know what Jules are about, but I appreciate it. I have a question about mids and highs. All right, I'm waiting to see what that question is going to be, Lizzie. And I appreciate the jewels, man, but I don't know what the hell they're all about. But thank you. That was from Louis. Let's see here. I enjoy watching their creativity in their projects, man. Ingenuity and some of the stuff. Dude, that's what I do. That's what I do best is think of weird shit and try to figure it out, man. That's my strength. And math is definitely not my strength. But thank you. LF Audio has some awesome equipment for watching voltages, temps, and RCA signals. Yeah, and I know, and I need to get with them. I've talked to them a little bit, and then in Basshead Garage. I've got something coming though that's going to be pretty cool for temperatures here in the future. Got a thing. We're working on a thing. Louis said, "Thanks for the advice. I've been looking into LTO 6.4. Sure, not a bad deal, but it's I think that 6.0 down for sound 6.0 battery, if I'm not mistaken, is 22 amp hours. I could be wrong about that. It could be less. And it's basically half of the Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's half of the Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K. I would run the Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K over that. So you're looking at, support for about 2,500 watts with that battery, 2,200 watts, something like that. Remember, I said it's 25 amp hours, 2,500 watts. That's kind of what you want to look for as a general rule. What we got? More jewels. Is that from Louis? Louis also sent me more jewels. Hell yeah, man. I don't know about the jewels, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Ah, look at this crazy person. That's Base Wife. She's just going to come in here and jump into the chat. That's my baby right there, y'all. I love my wife. And yes, the fireworks are freaking loud. Yes, I agree. And it's not even the 4th yet. Stupid people. I'm doing the best I can, bro. I'm just passing on what I know. 2 Sky High FBX 12s and the Gately 3.25 cubic foot. Okay, tuned 33 hertz. Sky High recommends 2.25. If I invert them, I'm at like 1.6 per. Okay, let me reread this before I advise on this. 2 12s, and the box is rated a net of 3.25. Sky High recommends 2.25 per. Yeah, I wouldn't run that, man. That's not what you want. 1.6 per, you're not going to get bass out of them. I mean, you'll get drums and like 60 hertz and 70 hertz and stuff like that's going to hit hard and be very responsive, but you're not going to get any lows, and you're probably going to smoke the coils if you try to. If you put enough power on them to try to pull bass out of them, you're going to wind up burning the coils up. So I would not suggest that. And inverting them gains you usually about 0.2 cubes per sub. So just to give you the math on that, it's not a perfect number, but it's pretty close. So sorry, but that's not a combination that I would put together. And VR says, happy 4th weekend. Yes, thank you very much. Happy 4th weekend to you guys. Shadow Phage. Stu said subs were lighter and more efficient back in those days too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Where the large boxes come from, minimum compliance to extend those low frequencies. The trade-off is power handling. Yeah, but you didn't need a whole lot of power if you have a giant box. See, the whole entire ecosystem changed. Back then, we had a mic that was more friendly to bass. First of all, we also had less power. The best we had was lead acid batteries and some AGMs coming into the market, which were just slightly better than submerged lead acid. So nobody had power. And then we built big, huge boxes. So because the speakers didn't require a lot of power, they couldn't take a lot of power. We didn't have a lot of power to give them. So all the enclosures were massive, which is where you got into people building boxes that were, now I can't think of the name. You have 2 drivers in one hole. Anyway, you put 2 drivers in a single hole face to face, and you would double your motor force. Then that meant you could run half as big of a box. And then later, Kickers really got it started with their drivers. They started building drivers that had twice as much motor force, and that's kind of where everything started kicking off. And no pun intended. But we started building drivers that had twice as much motor force and was able to shrink the boxes down, and then the power starts coming up, and the whole scene starts shifting away from big boxes to big power. So it was just a different way of solving the same problem. Alonso, that last one's a good one. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. Hey, brother, cool channel. I have a question. If I purchased a single set of mid-range speakers, but I don't have a DSP to do crossover, can I just buy any other crossover? Does this freeway and not really? Because your crossover, the way your crossover works is based off of your impedance. So if your impedance from your driver changes, like if the crossover is set up for, say, a 4 ohm mid and a 4 ohm tweeter, and then you put an 8 ohm mid and an 8 ohm tweeter on it, it's going to have two completely different crossover points. I highly suggest running if you getting a DSP, because it's using a passive crossover on a speaker that's not designed for is going to have you playing. Your crossover is not going to be doing the right job, and your drivers may be damaged because of it. So that's the best I can tell you there. It's the crossover is designed to work specifically with a specific drivers. So yeah, you can get lucky and get it to work, but you can also get unlucky and blow up your tweeters and have your mids sound like garbage. So sorry, but that's just the way that works. 200 to 300 hertz. It's not going to play to 320,000 hertz, but because that's impossible. Let's see, a three-way user said my mid-range can play from 200 to 320,000 hertz according to the specifications. Give you drive euphoria, pushing them from the slaps. Recommend. Yeah, I would run I would get the DSP, man. You're going to want a DSP anyway. Trust me. Go ahead and get the DSP. That way you don't blow your shit up. LF Audio has a wireless volume and is a game changer. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So, yeah. But the problem with that is I don't like wireless stuff. I just don't like wireless stuff. As wireless stuff requires batteries, and batteries die at the wrong time, and wireless stuff gets interrupted and gets disconnected and shit. I'm really anti. I have a wired keyboard, a wired mouse. I don't like wireless stuff. That said, it sounds like they've got a some kind of limiter in that, which works cool. It's cool stuff, cool tech, and at some point it's going to be the jam. I'm just more of I want control, and I want wires. I want things to be connected and stay connected. I don't want anything else taking control. I want to keep that control. But I can see where that would be very cool, for real. Yeah, that is cool sounding. Scares me a little bit though. My question is on my word. I can't even talk. My question is, my GP 454 has way more power than my tweets can stand. Okay. Can I DSP them down, or should I separate? You can DSP them down. You know, it's not a problem at all. You could run a lot of guys in SQ especially run ridiculous amounts of power to their mids and highs, and then they just turn them down. You're going to keep the dynamic hit from those bigger amps and still send less power. You're not going to send, you're not realistically going to send more than 15 or 20 watts to any tweeter. If you do, it's going to have smoke coming out of it, and your brain is going to catch on fire. So no matter how much power you have hooked up to your tweeters, you're not actually sending that much power to them. They take very little. But yes, that is, the answer to your question is absolutely yes. And another one, Franco Quaid. And I can't click on them, so they just show up on the thing. Franco Quaid sent me another 200 joules. You guys are awesome. I don't know what joules are, but we're flowing. We are flowing with the flow state. Thank you for the joules. Flying Brian Hutch. 212s, 410s, all sealed boxes on some MVX monoblocks and a couple of Kicker monos. You could do that. As long as you're not putting different size subs in the same enclosure. And getting them to work in a car can be tricky, and some people pull it off. And there's a lot of really amazing builds that run that. So they can be done. It can absolutely be done. It's not something I would recommend for a novice because there's so much potential consolation and stuff that happens in there. So, but yeah, if it works, it works. I've heard some amazing builds with a variety of subwoofers like that. Dubby, what's up, Dubby? I had to fix mine. It stopped chewing on the positive. I stopped. I stopped chewing on the positive and negative cables. It was just too spicy for me. I hate when that happens. Isobaric. Yeah, thanks, man. Couldn't think of it. Yeah. I could not think of the name of that configuration to save my life. And then, of course, Cooker came out with the Solibaric, which is a subwoofer that acted like had the motor force of two speakers put in isobaric configuration. That was a really big moment in car audio history that most people don't even know about. Was that the switch? That was when the motors became so much more powerful, but it also needed more power. So there was a major shift in all the big car audio stuff when that happened. Major shift. Thank you very much, Jeezy and Stu, both reminded me of what that was. Thank you. Flying Brian mentioned the solar barrack driver. Yep. What batteries do I recommend for a 3.5K watt system? The 5K from Trunk Thunder Lithium. Discount code CAE10 at Trunk Thunder Lithium. Get the 5K. That'll do the job 100% for you, buddy. Iverca, I think is what you're thinking of. Nope. But it was isobaric. Isobaric. Thank you. Sealed boxes. Yeah, sealed. Did you guys know that the sealed box wasn't the first box? The first subwoofer boxes were all ported boxes. In fact, whenever the first sealed boxes were being designed, everyone said those will never work. They'll never be able to get those to work. It's not going to work if it's sealed up. You just can't do it that way. So sealed was kind of it was a latecomer to the game. Ported was around first. I personally love the way sealed sounds. Sounds so clean. Yeah, the DSP is it just makes everything easier. Like a lot of times on your amplifiers, you'll have the stuff, the crossover points and stuff. You don't have delays. You don't have a lot of things that you don't have. And a DSP it puts all of that, consolidates all that stuff, and it gives you all those tools to operate on everything independently. And it's a toolbox full of amazingness. A DSP is awesome. Craig Engelman, what's up, man? Let's see here. I6. I want to do a standalone system in my 2017 Accord. I'll only be pushing 2,000 watts. Can AGM something be enough? I have not seen a high output alternator. No, it's not going to be enough. Not even remotely close. For that, you're going to need like 4 AGMs of that size. Yeah, sorry, bro. AGMs are just horrible at throughput. So you're going to need 4 AGMs at that size, or you're going to need to go with a Trunk Thunder Lithium 5K version 2. Discount code CAE10 at Trunk Thunder Lithium. That will support that. And it's literally nothing. It just weighs a couple of pounds. Or you can put 4 AGMs in there, whichever one works for you the best. Stu said going from passive crossover to full active is like going, yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. It's like going from a bad carburetor to fuel injection. It's a huge game changer. LF Audio had its own wireless protocol. That's very cool. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of anything that's wireless. It bothers me, and it's just me personally. It isn't like it's bad or anything. It's just I don't like wireless things. Um, and we got another. Louis sent me some jewels. We got more jewels. Uh, Flow State. I can't show this for whatever reason. It won't let me click on it, but I do appreciate it. I appreciate the jewels, although I have no idea what they do. I appreciate them. Thank you very much. Um, oh, I got you. Facing up, sweet. Oh, okay. Ah, okay, cool. Thanks. Somebody finally told me. Jewels on YouTube are a digital currency that viewers can purchase to send virtual gifts during vertical live streams. Awesome. Okay. Now I know. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the love. Uh, yeah, $1 a watt. And it was about, and honestly, it was about $1 an inch for a subwoofer too. So a decent sub was about $1 an inch. For a 12, it's about 120 bucks. I remember that. That was really, really common. Gas was about $1 a gallon. Cigarettes were about $1 a pack, a little more actually. Milk was about $1, a little more than $1 a gallon. And subwoofers were about $1 an inch. And then amps were about $1 a watt. Yeah. I can remember all that. Funny thing about milk and cigarettes and gas. Here's some weird shit for you guys. Milk, a gallon of milk, a gallon of gas, and a pack of cigarettes are almost always very close in the same price. Figure that shit out. They have been for years. Jason said, question, head unit has low preamp output. Would adding a line driver pre-DSP change the pre-output? I would put the line driver after the DSP. Most DSPs have got a pretty good line driver in them. Like the V2 is a 4-volt output. So but if I was going to boost that, I would put it after the DSP, because the DSP is going to put out 4 volts, period. Or put out whatever voltage it's going to put out, no matter how much you're feeding into it. And most of them don't really want to be fed with giant amounts of power. So if I was going to put a line driver in I would put it between the DSP and the amplifier. I really like the WaveTech line drivers. So if I want to use a line driver, I'd probably go with the WaveTech line driver. You can look those up. They're good. But most DSPs will have a good output anyway. And what was the rest of your question? Would it change? I wouldn't say it's going to give you any real benefit unless your DSP has a really low output. In that case, then yes, just crank it up and check the voltage coming out of the DSP. If it's like 1 or 2 volts or something, adding a nice little WaveTech line driver to it will give you a little more voltage and will probably help, depending on what amplifier you're running. Some of the modern amplifiers don't want high voltage, and I don't understand that. Like some of the tar amp stuff, I think, is like capped at like 2 volts. I don't know. I don't understand these things. We were running like 9 and 10 volts back in the day. Passive rads. First from Kicker. No, well, yeah, they were. That was a Kicker thing also, the passive radiators. That was for truck boxes. Because a lot of people, all right, so many people in the youth crowd had pickup trucks, and most pickup trucks were single cab. So therefore, you had very little subwoofer space. And yeah, they did that first also, was building a passive radiator into the box, which allowed you to have a lot more airspace available for your subwoofer, because your passive radiator works exactly like a port, except it doesn't require any of the airspace to be there. You don't have to have the port geometry inside the box. The passive radiator is the port, and it's tuned by how much weight, how much mass it has mounted to it. That changes the frequency. So as long as that passive radiator is capable of moving enough to support that sound wave, it acts like a port at that frequency, and will give you a lot more output. So in a situation where you don't have room to put a port inside of a box, a passive radiator can fix that problem. And they were the first ones to do that, uh, that I know of. So that was another big first. Kicker's been innovative for years. They've been innovating for years and years. Digital greatness, you better believe it. Take a towel and a shovel, make the house a subwoofer sealed. Take the towel and shove it in the port to make the house subwoofer sealed. Yeah, you can do that. Like I said, I like the way sealed subs sound, man. They have a cleanness to them. You lose the bottom end, wherever the port's tuned at, you lose that bump. But I mean, I just like the way they sound quality wise, 100%. Yeah, it was 90 here. It's down to 81 now. Oh man, gonna freeze. Got to go cover up the tomatoes. Have you ever tried the charge pumps? Don't know what that is. I'm sure you'll tell me about it somewhere in the comments down here. I need somebody to tell me what the hell charge pumps are. I don't know what charge pumps are. I remember having two 400 watt, 12-inch Rockford Fosgates on a SoundStream. Said, "Hey man, that probably was." I've got a couple of 500 watt audio dynamic 12s. Got one hooked up to my desk system right now. And if you put 1,000 watts of real power on them, those things absolutely will get down. They will really, really get down. So yeah, no problem. I used to have, my favorite old school sub was the JL W3s. I had a pair of JL W3 15s. I had them in multiple boxes, but I had them in a sealed box that I really liked. And I had them on a 1,000 watt Memphis amp. That was one of the chrome amps. It was just like chrome with little ribs all the way across, a solid chrome amp. It was 1,000, or it was called a 1000 D1 or something, but it was a monoblock 1,000 watt Class D amplifier. But yeah, I had that on those two subs as my favorite setup back in the day. The budget DSP, 100%, man. The B2 610, absolutely. It's a great little DSP. I've got multiples of them running in multiple vehicles now, and I've had zero issues out of any of them. So yeah, 100%. I have no problem whatsoever recommending the B2 DSP, man. Thump shows. Yeah. I told a story about those in the last show where I took some of those. I had the 15s. They were the Thump 15s, and I put them in some of the. You remember back in the 80s and 90s at the furniture rental places, you could get the big, huge stereo system with the big, giant tower speakers, and they had the little corner protectors and all that stuff on them. Big, huge carpeted boxes, had the mesh with the grills, rack system. Well, I had gotten a set of those towers with the speakers were blown. I'd got the set of the towers for like $50. And they still had the tweeters. The tweeters were fine, but the woofers were all blown. So there was no woofers in these things. And I got them for like $50. And then I ended up buying a bunch of those Thump drivers and loaded the thing up. And God, they sounded amazing. I mean, we weren't putting a huge amount of power on them, but yeah. Stu, you must be over in New York City area there. At $9.80 a pack. Way cheaper for a milkshake. Hell yeah, I did. Well, New York and California don't count, man. Those places are both weird. Uh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Back when those audio sales, yep. Crunch amps are pretty much, uh, they're crunch amps. They're not. There was a point where they might have been kind of sort of okay, but they've never been good. Never been something I would write home about. No. Low voltage or hot? Do I know of them? Yes, I know of low voltage. And yeah, they do some cool stuff. You just got to watch different things happening all the time. People, I run a whole bunch of different sales and run stuff, and I like the quality. It's not about the cells because they're all using similar cells. Sometimes they're using the same cells. It's more about the construction of the rest of the bank, the balancer, the bars, how things are put together, and how it's all assembled, and how it's protected. That's the more important stuff. And so that's what I look for when I go for banks. And I have not done a trapped horn yet. Have I looked into trapped horns? No, because I'm a forgetful old bastard. And I apologize for that. Kicker use the passive radiators. Yeah, that sounds about right. 82. They called them the ass kickers. It was Stillwater Designs. It wasn't Kicker. That name came along because of the ass kickers. So Stillwater Designs built the ass kickers, which were a radiator, passive radiator, and a subwoofer in a box. And later on, the company ended up becoming Kicker, become their name. But yeah, when the company introduced the original Kicker box, one of the first consumer audio products to future, yeah, 100%. I'll go with that. Dropping to 7 or 8 volts to 4 volts preamp. Yes, it will. Depending on the amplifier, of course, some amplifiers can't handle 7 or 8 volts, but yes, it will make a difference. 100%. Panasonic had thrusters back in the day for home and passive radiators. Don't know about that one. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably just another name for the same stuff. Yeah, 100% agree with that too. A charge pump. Okay. DC to DC converter that uses capacitors and switches to increase, decrease, or invert voltage efficiency without inductors. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that, but I'm familiar with DC to DC converters. And they make them, of course, you can use those, but they're always going to be rated to a certain amount of current throughput. And so you got to make sure you're not exceeding that. But yeah, let's see here. Oh, no. Oh man. What's up, PSE? Thank you, Flying. Oh man, yeah, y'all's prices are crazy. What's up, Garrett? Nice to see you, man. We're going to take a little break and we'll come back and get back into it. So give me a second here. We're going to have a little break.
Yeah.
say, yeah, there we go. No, Mike. Yeah, it happens. Thanks for pointing that out. You guys are awesome. You understand that I'm a dumbass. Anyway, PSE said I did lose weight, and I went on my happens all the time. Shadow page, you did. Oh, you assholes. Y'all love it. You guys are great though. Uh, um, I went on my weight loss plan was I went from 360 pounds down to right at 210. Then I had to. I got the cancer thing going on, so I had to. My whole life like changed up, and I back up to. I got it back up to about 255. Now I'm back down to like 240. So I just stopped eating bread. No bread. Fat goes away. Bread is terrible. It's really bad. So if you want to eat bread, you just get these. They got these little tortilla shells you can get at Walmart, and they're the square ones. They're low carb tortilla shells, and you can take one of those and tear it in half and make a sandwich with it. Works pretty good for a sandwich. It's kind of like a little sandwich burrito thing, and they're really low in carbs. So if you got to have something to make a sandwich with, that's what you use. And if you want to use bread, then you use wheat bread because wheat bread has half the carbs in it that's white bread. So you automatically cut your carbs in half by just switching to wheat bread. I can't stand the taste of wheat bread, so I went different routes. But lots of canned chili, stuff like that goes through you easily and doesn't have a lot of carbs in it. But just cut bread out, you lose weight like crazy. Let's see. Shadow page happens all the time. Son of a bitch, I tell you what. And he's back. He says, yeah, it's kind of a train wreck, man. Going from your whole life just changes completely. And it's not the cancer, it's all the other stuff around the cancer that's the problem. It's like I'd almost rather have not known and just went on living my life like normal and just croaked over than so yeah, that's a lot of questions involved in that. A lot of stuff. Yeah. Chili Frito wraps. Fritos are not bad, but corn chips are very high in carbs. So potato chips are worse. So if you're going to eat chips, corn chips are the lesser of the two evils, but they are pretty high in carbs. And if you don't believe how much carbs are in a corn chip, set one on fire. Stuff that has a lot of calories in it burns. It's funny how that works. And potato chips and corn chips will both burn a lot. So anything that burns real easy has a lot of carbs in it. Anything has a lot of carbs in it, as long as there's no water, will also burn. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So what's up, VR, man? Come across your GP Undertaker V2 video. So I purchased the 12. That thing gets down big time. Yep. It will do it on a JP83, 176 amp hour LiPo. Yep. Brutal sounds and closure. Sound like you spent some money and got some cool stuff. 100%, man. The Undertaker is absolutely a brutal subwoofer. Brutal. Thank you, man. What's up? CPT, what's up, man? So if you guys have questions, now is the time to ask those questions. I'm going to scan through a couple of things over here and see if I can find something cool, because I was going to pull something up for a minute ago and to show you guys, but I can't find what I'm looking for. So questions are now. Oh, last question, last upgrade. Our last demo before the upgrade. Let's see here. More jewels. I love jewels. Jewels are cool. Used to have a cat named Jewel. What's up, man? VR, thank you for the jewels, brother. I guess they show up there, but I was trying to figure out how to click. I can't click on them. It's like I can click on anybody's comment, but I can't click on the jewel comments. It's pretty weird. PSC says, I've decided to keep my crescendo bass clef 4K. Yeah, it's good amp. And Symphony 800.4. Those sounds good. Solid. What's your thoughts on Glow Voltage? Been considering trying out the Series 2. I don't really have any thoughts on them. I haven't dug in deep because, like I said, things change. Like one battery builder will find, will get a whole bunch of cells and design a battery and start selling them. And then they'll run out of those cells and so they'll design a different battery and start selling it. So the things move as it moves from thing to thing. What's really cool right now in a week may not exist anymore. That's where the problem comes in. And basically you're buying into the company who builds the batteries. You're not buying a specific product. And so when I have to do that, I look at what company designs and builds in a way that I feel like it's trustworthy and I would want to have it in my vehicle. And I'd want to spend the money on it and that's why I stick with Trunked Under Lithium as far as pre-built batteries go, because I know what they put into them and how they test them, how much work they put into designing them and making them to where they're basically just indestructible banks. So that's why I stick with Trunked Under Lithium. And, that's just that. And I'm not saying anything bad about Glow Voltage. I just haven't researched what they're doing specifically. There's multiple different companies out there that do this, lots of them. I'm just go with what I know, I know how hard Brandon tests those batteries and how brutal he is on his test and how picky he is about how well that they do thermally and all that stuff. So that's why I stick with Brandon at Trunked Under Lithium. Rolling Man Cave is all we always want, man. Just do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I still have to order my Ampere 2.275 18 and 40 inch TV that convert to 12 volts. Very easy to do. I'll tell you what I've seen a guy do. I don't have any video of it, but guys, this was freaking cool as shit. He used shower curtains in his windows, in his back windows of his car. He stretched shower curtain material, white shower curtain material over the windows, and he used projectors to project onto the shower curtain from the inside of the car. And it looked like a straight up movie theater from the outside. It was really, really cool effect. He had the car all decked out with this weird paint job and had these projectors projecting like movie scenes and stuff onto these curtains over the windows. And it looked so freaking cool. It even looked good in the bright daylight. So it was very, very neat. If you want to do something crazy, you might think about something like that. That was cool. Exactly. That's my point. And he stays sold out. So what you have to do with Brandon is buy stuff ahead of time. Now, you may not be able to buy it ahead of time, but you can get in there and talk to him and get stuff ahead of time, get it ordered and set up to where you can pick it up as soon as he gets it built. And it might take you a while to pick up stuff. So it's a time thing, but you're getting a really good product with Brandon. It's Trunked Under Lithium. Yeah. Thank you. Let's see here. What? Recording artist. What's up, man? Quick question. Adding a resistor in series with a speaker impacts the sound. How? A 4-ohm resistor to a 4-ohm driver. I'm not really sure. It's let me think about that for a minute. A capacitor. I would say it would probably just cut power down to that speaker, and it would definitely filter something, but I'm not really sure. I'd have to test that. I'm not one of those guys that has a really good intimate knowledge of building a passive crossover network, but I'm sure that it would affect it in some way. I'm just not knowledgeable enough in that area to responsibly answer that question. I would say try it and see what happens, because you're not going to hurt anything to test it. It is not going to change it magically into an 8-ohm driver, but it will definitely change something. And that resistor is probably going to get pretty hot if you put power on it. I have a projector and a blown up 24-foot screen for nighttime fun, but the TV will stay permanent. That sounds crazy. The rolling man cave. Okay. Stu's answering your question. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, I'd say test it and find out, man. Just it's experiment. It's not something that's going to explode on you or anything. You don't think so, Stu? I know you should come back with that. I'm not sure about that. I mean, I will definitely concede to your knowledge if you know this, but if I'm guessing, just guessing, I think something else would change, but I'm not really sure what. So yeah, I'm definitely not qualified to answer that. Stu, if Stu knows, listen to what he has to say. Be careful accepting them jewels. I think it's like when your first day of prison, there's a lot of the Snickers laying on your bed. It's good stuff, man. Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I got you. Okay. I caught this too. So yeah, I've actually been that guy, first day in prison, and I had a dude did put a Twinkie on my bed, and I went and picked it up, and I said, "Who?" I asked around. I said, "Who put this on her?" And one of the dudes finally pointed and said, "That guy over there." I picked up the damn Twinkie and walked over and stood right in front of him and ate it and told him to go fuck himself. I'm telling you, man, those guys didn't know what to make of me, man. I was just such a messed up individual. And and it's not like I was a badass or anything. I was just crazy, That's how I roll. So people are like, this dude's nuts, man. This is one crazy. They called me Loco Lobo. And yeah, it was crazy stuff. Caps and coils, yeah. So I said I wasn't sure. I know that a resistor added to the caps and coils does things, but it's just not my jam. So, all right, what's up here? We got if you place a 4-ohm resistor in series with a 4-ohm speaker, you're going to have an 8-ohm circuit. Okay, fair enough. Of course, that's going to change, and the speaker starts to move and starts to create impedance. But yeah, 100%. Does anybody else have any questions tonight? How long have we been running tonight? We're almost 2 hours. Drew Bradley. Hey, boss man. Can't stay long. Glad to see y'all. Old school car audio, electrical noise transducer, replicators. Yep, you said words. Audiologist. Awesome, man. The housewarming Twinkie. Housewarming Twinkie, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So for anybody who don't know, they would put a little something on your bunk, and then when you ate it, they'd come by later and go, "Hey, you know that thing you ate? Yeah, well, I want it back now. I want 2 of them." That was bullshit. And I was just so psychotic that everybody was kind of scared of me. Did I finish my doors? Yes, I did finish the doors. They are playing. And I'm messing around with different tunes right now. And I'd like to put out a video showing my tuning process. It's just so difficult because I use my phone for videoing, and I also use it for part of the tuning process. So it makes creating a good tuning video difficult. But I'm going to try to do some stuff with that, give you guys some more tuning stuff. So, yes, to answer your question. And it sounds really good. I'm very impressed with how good they sound. Oh, they sound as good. They sound better than you think they do. They sound way better than you think they do. They sound way better than you think they have a right to sound. That's you would think that I had like Focal or something like that in there. They sound really, really, really astoundingly good. Very, very good presence. There's not the drivers, that 6.5 and that 8 don't have any hot spots on them. They're very flat and they're very predictable. They don't require any real EQ to get them flat. They just sound really good. The one thing I would say that I can do is more power. I think they need a little more power on them. So I'm probably going to be switching to a 2K.4. And let me go back over here. If we go back over to car amplifiers, this is what I'm running right now is the micro 160.4 on the 6.5s and the 8s. So I've got one per. And we're looking at 160 watts. Now, mind you that the 6.5 and the 8 are both 8 ohm speakers. So I'm only doing about 80 watts per driver full bore. I think that's a little bit low. So I'm probably going to be switching to this, which I'm running one of these in my Tahoe now. And it will end up giving me more power. So with my 8 ohm speakers, I would be looking at, and this is 4 ohms RMS at 300 watts. I'd be looking at, 150 watts. And I think that would be a lot better than the 80 watts that I'm running right now. And I could run my 6.5s and my 8s on one of these and then continue to run my tweeters and my dash off of the 5. But I think I'm going to be doing this. So that's kind of what I got in my brain. Bobby says, yo, again. What's up, Bobby? Recording artist, I ran the DATs on a 2-way crossover and it showed increased resistance in the upper and lower range. Oh, okay, cool. But the crossover point stayed relatively flat. Hell yeah. That's what we're talking about. Doors look amazing in the vid today. Thank you. I'm going to have a better, I'm going to do an outside demo because you can kind of hear more about the power and the overall projection from outside. If I do a video inside the car, it only works at pretty low volumes because after a certain point, I start distorting the microphone. So outside tends to give you a better feel for what the car sounds like on the inside, which is strange, but it does. And it's very, very realistic. If you're inside the car Like I said, you would think there was thousands of dollars in speakers in those doors. They sound absolutely amazing. And the funny thing is, with the speakers I'm running, so looking at this, let's go over here to the mid basses. I'm running these 6.5s. They're $64 a pair. So I got 64 bucks in 6.5s, two each. Okay. One on each side. And then I'm running the 8-inch, which is $69 per pair. So there's 130, 130, 260 bucks worth of drivers. And then I'm running the tweeters. These little tweeters are $24 per pair. So there's less than 300 bucks in speakers in those front doors. And dude, I'm telling you guys, you cannot, these things are amazing. They are amazing speakers, and they, the prices are great. And if you really want to get loud, you got these guys. This is per speaker, so it's 134 per speaker. That's the 12-inch with the Kevlar or whatever it is, cone and all that stuff. Absolutely crazy driver. I'm running these in my Tahoe in my doors. These and a set of these. So I got this guy in my Tahoe in the door. Which is $27 a piece, $28 a piece, and then a set of these in my Tahoes in the doors. That's it. That's what my Tahoe's playing for front stage. Now, if you guys have seen all the videos, you've seen all the crazy stuff my Tahoe does. What you're hearing is this and this. That's it. But yeah, you really can't go wrong with this setup. And these tweeters sound really good, by the way. They sound really, really good. I'm crossing them over at 5,000 hertz. And I'm crossing the slaps 6.5 over at 5,000 hertz. So it's handing off to the tweeters at 5K. And I'm bringing it in at 300 hertz. And I'm playing the 8s at 80 hertz to 300 hertz. So it's that combination is working extremely well. Yeah. Sorry. All right. What is it? Drew Bradley? No, Craig, the video doesn't do any justice. It doesn't really. I'm working on my garage after having moved 2 years ago. I found a pair of Phoenix Gold 15-inch or 15 band. They probably had a line output booster too. Those old line output deals would boost up to like 10 volts and shit. I loved them, man. I thought they sounded absolutely amazing having the voltage up that high. But things have changed, so oh, okay. Oh, I thought I lost you guys for a second. My computer went all weird. Drew said those things are from the 90s. I'm old. Yeah, man. I don't even talk about that shit no more. And people that were kids when I was young have got kids that are older than I was when their parents were kids. So they got kids that have kids. I mean, I have friends that have kids that have kids. That's that's messed up, dude. Like, yeah, someone who's like in their 40s is young enough to be my kid. The reactive components are going to determine the crossover points. Topology will determine the slopes. Gotcha. Sony ES. Ooh, the Sony ES. I'm using the Sony ES XS L1255G. I bet it's old. Craig said, I can't listen to those tweeters. I'm a silk dome guy. You know what the difference between a silk dome and a metal dome tweeter is? I can tell you what the difference between a silk dome and a metal dome tweeter is. And The composition of the tweeter material does have a lot to do with the sound characteristics. However, a metal dome tweeter, meaning beryllium, aluminum, whatever imium it has, they are more accurate. They actually reproduce sound more accurately, all the way up to like 30,000 hertz. The problem is whenever they break up very harshly. So whenever you push them too far and they start breaking up, they oil can. So if you took a soda pop can and just kind of crinkle it, that sound, clunk, clunk, clunk. I have one here. This sound, which it ain't gonna do. They do this. Okay, they oil can, and that breakup is what makes the harshness that people don't like. And the thing about these silk dome tweeters or those composite drivers where they use materials, like softer cloth style materials, whenever they break up, and they do break up the same way, but they break up much more pleasingly. So you don't hear that crinkling pop. It's just more of a muffled breakup. Well, also, this is the problem though. So that makes silk dome better, right? Well, the other thing is they break up sooner. So a metal tweeters will hold up longer and not break up as quickly, which means they produce highs much, much better than the silk domes do. The silk domes break up sooner and a lot more, but they also don't make much sound when they break up. So they sound like they have a natural roll off to them. And that's the difference between the two to your ear. You're basically, if you went over to your EQ and you slid that 20K down quite a bit and rolled off the top end of any of those tweeters or on a metal dome tweeter, it'll sound just like a silk dome tweeter. You roll off that highest part of it, it's going to sound like a silk dome. They'll sound the same. You couldn't tell the difference. The other thing about metal dome tweeters is they handle power better. Because the diaphragm itself acts like a heat sink. It's attached to the voice coil. So they're going to handle getting hot. They're going to handle that heat better. They're going to get rid of that heat better. So they're more accurate and they get rid of heat better, handle power better. But when they fail in an unpleasant way. Whereas silk domes fail earlier and sooner, but it's in a more pleasant way. And that's the difference. Interesting, right? Let's see what you had to say. See, that's what I said. Silk dome isn't as harsh. Metal has a ring tone. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's not so much about. It is about the material, but it's not in the way you think. It's a different reasoning than what you think. So yeah, if you just push the EQ down on your tweeters on metal domes, and they sound exactly like a silk dome. But you can get more accuracy from a silk dome, and you can hold more power from metal domes. So they both have their purposes. For someone who's not wanting to really tweak the highs, who wants them to just sit there and not have to worry about them, silk dome's easy because it naturally has a roll off. They naturally roll off at around 18K because they break up and they don't work anymore. Which people tend to like that sound, whether they think they do or not. Metal domes do not do that. They will carry on and make in their stuff until they break up. When they break up, it's pretty harsh, and so you hear that. But there's my lesson on tweeters for the day, and I've done a lot of studying up on tweeters because that's a very interesting subject. And the same thing applies to all speakers. It just isn't as obvious on a lot of them because like that's why you don't see metal dome subwoofers. It's for the same reason. They still are more rigid and light and do all the things better, but when they do break up, When they do make a noise, it's very obvious. And you get that sound that I gave you with the oil can, with the Diet Coke can. You get that breakup, and it sounds really bad and really obvious when it's a subwoofer or when it's a speaker. It's not as bad and obvious on a tweeter, but it's still there. Metal is always going to be more accurate. It just doesn't fail as comfortably. Anybody else have any questions for me tonight? I'm about to go get down on some food. I think I'm going to eat some Salisbury steaks. Got to get that Salisbury steak thing going on. Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Y'all been awesome to have around tonight. And we are going to get the duck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Out here banging up and down the street, slamming that to the ground. Big subwoofers are getting loud. You can feel the booming sound. Getting ready to go. Got it shined up for the show. Power's charging, amps are amping, gonna let the woofers blow. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. We got more at home. Another one bites the dust. Eyes are glowing and the amps smoking. Subs are cherry red. Let me keep jamming, gotta keep the bass slamming. Gonna go hard till they're dead. Full power, gotta let it go. 20 hertz in the floating hair. Sparks are flying, voice coils are frying, and the smoke is in the air. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. Hey, we got more at home. Another one bites the dust.